Hello, it's me, Sky, and welcome to this Diamond Art Club sneak peek. As you can see, I have a very exciting kit to share with you today. This one is Uranus by Trinh or Roy the Art on Instagram. Let me show her to you. Isn't she beautiful? So this is part of a series, and Diamond Art Club has released some of them previously. Actually, last week we got Mars, I think it was, and I don't want to try to name all the ones that have been released because I just can't recall, but it's not all of them yet, but it seems that we are still seeing these come out every once in a while. The sizing on this is 25.6 by 38.6 inches or 65 by 97.8 centimeters. So she's gonna be big. It's also square drill. And let me just pan up the box. Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. A little bit on the side there, and here's the side over here. We're gonna look at this very thoroughly in just a minute, but I love how they do the box art now. And down here we can see that we have 69 colors with one iridescent, which is always very exciting for me, and the 2 fairy dust. And then on the back of the box here, we've got just some information about how diamond painting works, the kit contents, which we are going to look at. And then on the bottom here, you've got a smaller version of the image and then the title here again. So if you store your boxes on their side, you'll still be able to tell what they are. Now I'm gonna try to tear into this box, but usually the bigger the kit is, the harder time I have actually getting it out of the box. But while I'm doing this, I want to put the release information for this kit on the screen. So this is going to be a weekend release, and you can just convert those times above into your time zone so you'll know when you can grab this kit. I also want to say a big thank you to Diamond Art Club for sending me this kit to share with you guys. So inside we've got this beautiful insert with all of our items. I want to turn it over so you can see that it says Diamond Art Club. We've got a toolkit over here. We're going to look at the contents of that. Then inside this plastic overwrap, we've got our canvas and drills, and we're going to look at that as well. And then we've got our thank you envelope. So this will be the first thing we tear into. Inside here, we've got a treasure quest card. So there is another look at this gorgeous image. These treasure quest cards are another reward system with Diamond Art Club, and I'll leave a link in the description box below that tells you kind of how you can use these. But there's lots of different types. Over on the back, you can see the type. I don't know if it's focusing, but this is a bronze one. There are several different types and you can use them in different combinations, but they're also great just for collectible purposes. And then also inside here, we've got our sticker sheet, which we'll take a look at in a sec. And then on the envelope itself, we've got some tips and tricks, some step-by-step instructions, the kit contents again, and then over here, we've got a QR code that will take you to Diamond Art Club's VIP Facebook group, which I highly recommend. And then these codes here will take you to Diamond Art Club's app. You just choose the one that goes with your phone. Now let's take a look at the sticker sheet. So if you flip it over here, we can see we're getting bigger and bigger with this little version of the image, and eventually we're going to see it all on the canvas. But this is a sticker, so you can peel this off and put it in your logbook. And then this up here is a sticker, so it has a start and end date if you like to track your progress. And then this down here is also a sticker, and it's just some more information about the kit that we've already talked about, how many colors there are, the diamond shape, it's a square drill, and then the sizing. And then if you open it up, you've got all of your individual stickers. So you're going to put these on your containers when you're kitting up, and they all do peel off separately. There we go. I just wanted to show it to you, but I didn't want to peel it all the way off. And then of course here we can see all of the colors in one place. which I always love to kind of get a vibe from this. And if we look towards the end of the list, we're going to see our special drills listed. So this is our iridescent here, and then we've got the 2 fairy dust as well. We're going to look at those in the drill packaging, but that is where you will find them on your sticker sheet. The next thing we're going to do is take a look at the items in the toolkit. Inside the bag, we have got a diamond painting pin, so you just pop the cap off here and it twists up, so it's already filled with this clear wax. So when you twist it, it just pushes that wax up to the tip. Then on the other end, we've got a multi-placer. And then also included is one that's a bit larger if you want to take this one out and put this one in. And then you've also got some extra clear wax. So if you were to run out in this tip, you could replace it in there. And then also you can use this in your multi-placer. And you've got the red heart wax included. So if you prefer this type, you have that as well. Then we've got a bag of baggies that you can use for kitting up or storage. And then a diamond painting tray that has a stopper and a lid. All right, I got that tidied up. So the next step is to take the canvas and drills out of this plastic, and then we will take a look at this beautiful canvas. I think the drills want to come out of this end, so let's see if we can get them. There they go. All right, let's take a look. This is probably not the best view. I'm gonna flip it over. Lots of nice browns right there. And then there you go. And there is our beautiful drill assortment. I see lots of those pretty blues that I expected, and then lots of variations of brown and like golden type colors. I'm sure that's gonna have a really pretty effect on the canvas. And then on this end, we have got a label. So Diamond Art Club puts this here. You've got the title of the piece right there. So if you store your drills and your canvas separate from each other, then you'll still be able to match those up. All right, it's the big moment. I may have to adjust my camera quite a bit to be able to see this because it's quite large, and I think it's going to be oriented this way, which is not how I have my table set up currently. But there she is. Look at our beautiful face. I'm really curious about that iridescent. I'm wondering about this area here, but we will see. There's her lovely blue clothing. And as we go on down, we've got her sword here. And then all the way to the bottom of the canvas. So let me flip this over and roll it backwards and see if we can get you a better view where her head's not cut off, and I will see how much of this I can actually fit in one frame. Okay, I've tried to get you a better view, but I've had to raise the camera up so much that I don't know if you can hear me now, or maybe you can hear me too much. I'm not sure because I can't see what you're seeing. I might be talking directly into the microphone, so I'm so sorry. But here she is. This is pretty much the whole thing. There's a little bit there at the bottom, a little bit up at the top that I can't quite get in the frame, but she is beautiful. And this is like the perfect size for my table. Like, it's not draping off either side or either end. It's staying steady and flat on the table, which I love. So I want to point out a couple things about the canvas. So we've got legends on both sides, so you can flip this thing all around and still be able to access at least one of those. Then down here in the corner, we've got information about the kit, most of which we've already discussed, the title, the sizing. But then down here, you've got the licensing information. So this just lets you know that the artist has given permission and is being compensated for the use of this beautiful art. Then also we've got down here a coupon code and information about Diamond Art Club's socials, and then your warranty information can be found down there. And I want to give you a canvas tour, but I may have to lower the camera down so I can see what I'm showing you and be able to tell whether or not it's blurry. Okay, she's headless once again. I'm sorry, but let's just take a quick tour. If we start down here in this corner, I'm actually, I don't know if surprised is the right word because I didn't really give it a lot of thought, but I'm seeing more confetti than I expected to, and I don't know why. I had the expectation of color blocking here, but I'm seeing more confetti, but there are some blocks. And as we move over, we can see some blocking through here, but lots of color changes as well. And I'm gonna wrangle it this way. We'll go up the side. Some areas with some blocking, but still plenty of excitement if you like confetti. I tend to like confetti, so it's exciting for me. But if you hate confetti, then, you know, maybe take a look and see if this is your style or not. Then we're getting up here into more golden tones. Oh boy, I'm... Okay, we'll get it straightened out in just a minute, but let's go across the top here. Some more blocking, but also some confetti. Loving these deep browns. I know you're not really able to see our girl at all because she's in the middle, but we're gonna see if we can take a look at her as well. But let's just go down this side, which is very similar to the other side. And then all the way down to this corner. You really hardly got to see any blue in that whole tour. So let's just kind of bring the middle of it towards the camera. And you can see all those pretty blues. And then her beautiful face. Probably more confetti there because we've got more detail. Lots of bright areas there. So I'm very curious about the disbursement of the special drills. I feel like that's gonna look really shiny, but I'm just guessing. But next we are going to look at all of the drills. So I'm gonna go through them one by one. I know that's not everyone's thing. So if you just wanna skip that part, after we look at the drills, we're going to look at these special drills and see where they go on the campus. We have 2 bags of 823 and 1, 2, 3 bags of 801. 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of 433. 2 bags of 938. 2 bags of 782 and 1 783. I almost thought they were the same. And then 2 bags of 939. 2 bags of 975 and 2 bags of 780. 3 bags of 898 and 1, 2, 3 bags of 400. 4 bags of 300 and 745. 3046, 839, 2 bags of 158. 2 bags of 3371, 301, 2 bags of 311, 3047, 3770, 3790, 746, 3045, 3820, 3826, 3865, 841, 310, Z792. Okay, I was wondering, we haven't seen a special drill yet. So this is a fairy dust drill, and I love that it's one of these pretty blue colors, which makes me think it's gonna be somewhere in her clothing, but we will find out. Now this special drill has a subtle shimmer coating on the top, which I think you might can see in the camera. It always picks up a lot better on a darker color like this. So it's just a real subtle shine there, but you can see on this one, this is just a regular drill. And then you can see that this one has a different sort of effect. And it is so pretty. I'm anxious to see where that goes. Then we have 834, 3821, 3855, 3822, 160, 318, 413, 744, 779, 833, 800, 3807, 813, 729, 967, 3824, 3841, Z 842. Okay, this is our second fairy dust, and I was not expecting this color. I don't know what I was expecting. We saw it on the sticker sheet already, but I don't know where I think this might go. But you can see that gorgeous coating. I love a special drill when it's a neutral tone like this. I don't know why. I love it. 3782, 3830, 355, 356, 350, 3777, 347, 3854, 159, 3756, 3328, 327, 352, 945, 3827, 3033, 726, 948, 3341, L5200. Here it is, our iridescent. How beautiful this is. You can see that this is a very flashy drill. It's gonna have a beautiful effect on the canvas. Can't wait to see where Diamond Art Club has chosen to place it. It's not a big bag, but it's not the tiniest one I've ever seen either. So I don't think it's going to be, you know, in big blocks or anything, but there's definitely going to be some nice sparkle added somewhere. And then 775. So that is all of the beautiful drills. Now I'm going to separate out these special ones and we'll look at where they go. Here are all of our special drills. I don't know how I got them all turned upside down, but we have just really small bags and they're used very sparingly, but also very purposefully. So I think the effect is going to be really nice. So the first one we'll look at is the iridescent, the L5200, and this one, very subtle effect here. I'm gonna bring the canvas forward. So it's just gonna be used in this little halo around her head, this little ring. It's just right there. And then also in her earring, just a couple of spots. And that is all of that one. I was kind of thinking it was gonna be like all of this, and I was thinking, oh, I don't know how that's gonna look, but they didn't do that. It's gonna be more subtle than that. Just a few really bright spots. And I did check her sword and there's not any there. And next we have Z792, and there's a little bit more of this one. So this one is just gonna be throughout her dress or robes. And you can, well, I don't want to assume that you can see it, but I think you can see like these brighter spots where the light seems to be hitting. And not all of that is fairy dust, but there are some highlights in there. And then you can see kind of a bright spot over here, a bright spot down here, some bright outline right there. That is all fairy dust. And this goes all the way down to the bottom of her robes. So here, here, here. I can kind of bring this bottom part forward so you can see a little better what we're looking at. This area here. And then here's a nice little chunk of it right there. So still pretty sparingly, but also this one is doing a lot more than just the iridescent was. There are lots more spots. Oh, and before I stop talking about that one, there's also some in the sword, not like tons, but there is a few sprinkled throughout that area. Then we have Z842, this neutral fairy dust. And this one, I said that I was not sure what they were gonna do with this one. And it's only in one little spot. And then, well, there's a tiny, tiny bit down here. at the bottom of her sword, like her sword handle or hilt, however you would term that. There's a little bit of it there, but most of it's gonna be, let's roll her on up here, in the upper part, like towards the collar of her dress or robes. There, it's, all of this is not the fairy dust, it's the little E symbol, but just the light is hitting really strongly up here, so I can see why they made that choice to put that there. But then it's not in her face. I know that sometimes people get really concerned if there is any kind of special drill in like the skin of a character, because sometimes that would give it would make it kind of look silly, but there's none in her face area. It stops at her neck. So that is all. Goodness, I almost threw it on the floor. That is all of these special drills. I do want to pop the release information up here one more time. So if you have convinced yourself you need to snag this one, then that is the time and date to do so. Be sure and convert it to your time zone. And another big thank you to Diamond Art Club for sending me this beautiful kit to share with you guys. I would highly recommend going to this artist's Instagram and checking out the other artwork and the other pieces in this same collection. I would like to think we will see the rest as diamond paintings at some point, but no promises there. But it is Roy the Art. That is the Instagram handle. I'll link it down below. And I think that is all from me today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye!